session of the Town Council for October 27, 2015 to order at this time, and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'll all stand, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item on our agenda is the swearing in of our new council members, and if you gentlemen would like to come up and we'll proceed with that. Hold on. You want your driver? Come on. He's like, who? Sure. Earlier she told me to swear at you. Sweet.
My day's been.
Okay.
Okay.
Smile, please. Well, let him know when you. Let me go ahead.
You want me to be
I state your name, please.
I, Mike Turner,
Darrell Johnson,
Do solemnly swear
do
solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Oregon,
and the Constitution of the State of Oregon,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
as counselor member for the town of Lakeview,
as
councilor member of the town of Lakeview,
to which I have been appointed
to which I have been appointed
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
So
so help me God.
You are officially in. Alright, next we have public comment. Do we have any comment at all from, yes? Please state your name.
Nikki Taylor. I'm just here because of my concerns in regards to the water and also the lack of what I feel like should be proper notification in regards to the flushing of the water lines. We recently had a citywide, townwide flush, and my understanding is there was a newspaper advertisement saying not to wash your laundry, that it was going to be occurring for 3 days. I got the newspaper, still didn't know where it, couldn't find it in there. So, I mean, granted, children running around, but, and my concern was not doing my laundry. Well, it was an inconvenience as a family of 6, but drinking the water, because what's coming out of those pipelines are obviously what we consume on a daily basis, and the buildup is coming out, majority of that in the flush. I have overall concerns for the water and where our water system is going, so that we are providing safe water for our community to drink. Pretty well known that the town of Lakeview's water is just gross, is the way I've been told from the day I moved here 2 years ago.
Well, it looks gross, but it
It
does
looks
meet
gross,
state
yes.
requirements for
And which I do
clean
understand.
drinking water.
I do understand that, however, the World Health Organization also states that color, smell, and odor, or color and appearance and odor are all concerns as well, and if there's a general consensus by a community that those standards aren't being met, then there needs to be something done about it.
Well, you're right, and I think we are going to be working on that. We are going to try some new methods of filtering here really soon, and so hopefully it will be able to clear some of that up, because I know it is not good to look at.
Yeah, it looks like lemonade. And my biggest thing is also the notification. I don't feel like it would be too hard to put in our water bills like most communities do.
You know, that's a very good idea. I think we can really, yeah, you've talked about that already. I think we can address that and put it in.
And yeah, which is down apparently.
Yeah, I just noticed
Yeah.
that there.
Oh, our website's down.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know.
Yeah, but I think if we, you know, put it in the month ahead of when you're going to do it, if you've got the date set.
And that's the norm for a lot of the larger towns.
Yeah.
And even have it printed on the bill so that they're not adding an extra paper cost in there. Would have been nice, because not everybody consumes or receives a newspaper, but everybody gets a water bill that needs to be concerned. So,
Yeah, that is correct, and I think that's a good idea. And we'll-
that was my biggest concern, and also just the long-term future of where our water systems are going.
Okay, thank you for your comments.
Mhm.
You're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting if you like, or...
Sure, no. They're sleeping right now. If you start making noise, I'm running.
All right. Okay, we have communications, or comments, informational things. Any questions or comments? I know maybe you haven't had a chance to look through everything, what that section just means for the people is some things that have come in the mail and various fees outside of our department, or our town council that may be of interest to you to know about.
So there's another update on the marijuana.
Well, the marijuana, they have got some of their temporary rules, now 78 pages on their website for LLC, if you care to read them all. And those, according to this memorandum, will be going into effect soon, and so that they can start licensing shops starting January 1st, is the way I understand it. And then they will be made permanent at a later date. So. Any other questions or comments on that? Have you looked at any of those temporary rules yet?
I browsed over tonight. It's another one of those, the state statutes are pretty good guidelines, and it's a state law, so I feel like we should follow those guidelines. I don't know that anyone would ever locate a recreational marijuana store here, but in case they do, we've got some guidelines to follow.
Correct, yeah. Okay. Consent calendar, we have regular session minutes from September 8th, work session minutes from October 13th, and regular session minutes from October 13th, 2015. I read through those, thought they were fine, but any other questions, comments, or?
I move that we accept the consent calendar as presented.
For a second?
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to accept the consent calendar as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Counselor manager updates. I've met several times with Ray about a few things, including the agenda for today on wood stove. And we did, Matt, Ray and I did interview one candidate for a police officer job. So we will see what happens with that. Sharon, anything?
I have a chamber meeting. They've changed the time and the place. We're supposed to meet at Jerry's, which is not bad at all, but at 7 in the morning might present a challenge. So I'll be doing that. I did check with the schools to see how, remember we had that change in our traffic patterns and the, changing the parking out in front, and they said so far it's working really well. ADA was out there in force when they changed it to the one-way, and pretty much got that straightened out, so it looks like it's working okay.
Darren, I know you haven't had a chance to
Yeah.
be involved in anything yet.
No, one of the last meetings that I attended, we talked about, you guys talked about the liaisons to the departments. Have we put that on the agenda for discussion?
We will do that, but I didn't tonight because we just, we
Yeah.
got sworn in
Yeah, I
and
know.
we need to
That's perfect.
probably,
Just
hopefully on, well, if we can do it the next time,
great.
you might not be here. but,
Exactly.
yeah. We also need
That's
to.
good.
Yeah, and
You
I
can
did
shove a
want,
lot of things for me.
yeah, I mentioned that before the meeting started. I won't be at the next meeting. I'll be
And we also need to
out of town.
have a council president appointed, so that should be on our next agenda. Ray, anything to add?
Nothing yet.
Okay.
I would just make note that the SCO Act, the South Central Oregon, help me.
Transportation.
Is it Area Commission on Transportation?
Yes, that's what it is.
And SCOED, South Central Oregon Economic Development, will have their meetings in Blythe, kind of a neutral site, but they're meeting at 10 a.m. this Thursday. So I just,
Will you be?
I'm gonna try to make it over.
Okay. All right. We have no old business, and our new business is, one item we have, it's an air quality amendment here, but it actually is, a total new ordinance that we're presenting concerning the air quality. And, last year we signed an ordinance, giving people 1 year to change out and get alternate heating for their homes, in the hopes that the change-out program, the federal money, would be coming through, and they were very late coming through, so we are just, by this new ordinance, giving people another year to get that done, because otherwise the change-out or the year would be up in November of this year. And so we want to give them another year to be able to apply for the programs that are just beginning to come through. I don't know if Amy has anything more to add to that with the programs, but they were very late in getting the funds available for people. So we just really need to, excuse me, the wording of the ordinance is the same as last year. We signed now, so we have until next year to do this.
Is it the same amount of money or close to it, or did that change to?
No, the same amount of money, but it just, yeah.
So that was $750,000
Yeah, correct.
to replace wood stoves, uncertified. I was asked, and I wasn't too sure, if I had an older certified stove, could I still change it out, or is that not part of this?
Another thing that happened with the program was the legislative changed it quite a bit. In the first part of it, we were hoping that it was gonna help people, get another source of heat if they only had wood stoves as a sole source. But that right now is not happening. All they're focusing on right now is changing from wood stoves to
An alternative?
an alternative source. They're not upgrading stoves or anything like that as of now.
So you're not even replacing it with the certified, so they want
Not right now, no.
fossil fuel or electricity or?
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's why we kind of felt it was important to
Give some time.
extend this, because it was not anything that we kind of were thinking it was gonna be to help.
Exactly.
Mayor, if I may, Ray and I went to the Environmental Quality Commission meeting, and I was there as a planning director for the county, Ray obviously as town manager, and he mentioned this to DEQ individuals that were there, and they seemed to have no problem with it. They realized, what changes in the program were coming and were being implemented, so they are definitely aware of this.
I met with Justin Spinello from the Seattle office of the DEQ and our Environmental Protection Agency, and Larry Calkins from the DEQ here in Oregon. But I was rather outspoken in the meeting with them in regards to doing away or waiting another year on this. But after hearing the reasoning and the way that the legislature did the $750,000, I wish spent a different way. We're kind of cornered in that regard. It's hard to force people into that situation without some way to help them or assist them. So.
When do you think you'll be doing an educational component to let people know when it's available and how to go about it and what the new
It's
rules are?
not really anything through us. I mean, at the beginning, you know, we helped get all of the names. And then it's all through SCOED, so when they call, I direct everything over to SCOED, and they're the ones that
Lucky
are
you.
supposed to.
No,
No,
Scotia
in Klamath, sorry, not
Oh,
Ginger,
so
yes,
Scotia, Klamath Falls,
not Ginger, yes, in Klamath,
Not
sorry,
in the loop.
yes,
So
Yeah,
they,
she's-
they determine eligibility
yes.
and what will happen, what's
Is-
expected.
Can I ask this question? The 750,000 that was for, was it 1.5 million and then
And it was.
750 for Lake and 750?
For Klamath, yes.
Did the legislature write anything in to where if we don't use ours, it goes elsewhere?
You know,
Probably so.
I was actually speaking with Sandy about that before the meeting, and, I don't know if it's written anywhere, but Ray had questioned, the other day, and it was maybe mentioned that it goes to Klamath if we don't spend it. Here and there.
So
But I don't know if that's written anywhere, I
SCOED
don't
needs
know
to
that.
do some promotional, something to let the word out to the Lake County residents to know that there is an opportunity there,
Mhm.
or before it goes elsewhere.
I agree.
I'm not sure, but I think they have a fairly good list. And there's been a little bit of a hang-up, I don't know if they talked to you about this or not, with the person who's doing the assessments. They're doing things a little differently than they have in the past, which I think is a good thing, where they're having someone come and assess each one of the applicants to make sure that the decision, a good decision's being made about what unit they're going to be having installed. And that person went on vacation for like 2.5 weeks. And so they're kind of behind the eight ball. It should be just about the time that he'd be coming back and scheduling more appointments. And I think they've got,
9 is what they had said.
yeah, 9, maybe more by now, because I've had a couple of people come in the office that I referred over to them, so it sounded like they were probably gonna be eligible, so it's getting up there. And surprisingly enough, $750,000 sounds like a lot, but then there's some administrative costs, which isn't huge, and then the part of that pays for this guy to come and do the assessment, and then they're trying to cap them, I think, at $5,000 each, but some of them, depending on what the right unit is for them to have, maybe a little bit more, so.
And I think though now
It's
they do
going
have a
fast.
certain amount they have to meet with that, correct too? Is it
Right.
10%?
Something like that, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not totally up to snuff on it, because it's not really, I mean, I get part of it because I have to deal with people when they come in, but I'm not the
go-to
last
guy.
word.
Yeah.
So, I hope that helps a little bit.
So there's 9 homes or 9 people that they're helping so far, and I just divided 650,000, I gave them 100,000 administrative.
No, that are currently, that have either been assessed or currently scheduled. There are more people on
Well,
that list.
I divided 650,000, that's after administrative, whatever they might take them. Hopefully they don't take that much, but that leaves, I mean, that's at $5,000 per unit or per change out, that's 130 homes.
Right, but they've
So
only
I
got
would hope they
that,
would get the word out.
well, they have more than that, they have more than 9 people on the list.
That's just how many they.
Yeah, that's just how many they've scheduled and
But you're saying that 5,000 is tops that they're gonna pay with a 10% perhaps match or something?
that was an original guideline. I don't know if they're sticking to
Because
that
I'm thinking
because,
that if they have to go, I mean, that maybe would have worked for a certified wood stove. But if they're going to some of the, like what I
Yeah.
don't know if they're putting monitors in now, it's a different brand or something. but
Right.
Those can run upwards of $5,000.
well, and that's why I'm saying that they're re-looking at that. That was their original thought, but then as they
Especially
started
if you
looking
have a
at
home
it.
that's fairly large, you know, you're gonna have to put 2
Right.
in. Okay.
Right.
We need to watch that space.
So we
Anyways,
need to keep an eye on it, but, I mean, we need to pass, you know,
Yeah.
decide if we're gonna pass
Chip it
the
in.
ordinance. It is an ordinance, so we do need to, have it been read by
By
title.
title only.
Motion to,
I make a motion that we read ordinance number 853 by title only.
motion and a second to renumber ordinance number 853 by title only. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. So,
A motion to approve ordinance 853, an ordinance prohibiting the use of solid fuel burning devices with town of Lakeview, providing certain exemptions therefrom, establishing controls for the enforcement of this ordinance, providing penalties for the violation, whereupon repealing ordinance number 851 in its entirety and declaring an emergency.
is there a second?
I'll second that.
Motion and second to approve ordinance number 853, an ordinance prohibiting the use of solid fuel burning devices within the town of Lakeview, providing certain exemptions therefrom, establishing controls for the enforcement of this ordinance, providing penalties for violations hereof, repealing ordinance number 851 in its entirety, and declaring an emergency. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Okay. And any other comments, questions? Other than that, we will close our meeting at 4:25. 4:20 is my watch. Ginger, sorry.
So I wanted to just encourage you on the Measure 91, the rules and regs that just came out from the OLCC, to read them, because there is more in there. It's not just about recreation, it's the whole ball of wax. It's everything.
You mean medical and,
It's yeah, it's the whole, it's everything. And I plowed through about 3/4 of it and then got interrupted. And I'm really encouraged by, I mean, they've almost left no stone unturned. I mean, I'm sure there is one, but it's very clear and it's very complete. And these are only going to be in effect, as I understood it, until June 30th. And so this buys them a little more time to refine what they've already done. But I think it would be really helpful and important for you to, it's not exactly a fun read, but I actually got through it more quickly than I thought I would. A lot of it is definitions, so you can kind of, skip through that part of it unless you need to go back and figure out what they're talking about. But it was pretty clear, and lots of what do I want to say, regulation around how the operation can, how they're going to operate, or rules around. They're having a marijuana handler's license that you have to have if you're going to work on site. You have to go through a training class and pass a little test. I mean, that's just an example of how complete and minute they're doing this. So I think it's a good read for those of us that need to know.
all right, thank you. So anyone else? No? Okay, we'll officially close at 4:22.